Olympic Freeway, Alana Reviews, Tommy Tinker, Carmine Costello were having a snowball fight among themselves. From there, Carmine Costello and Craig Barrett were on the phone speaking to each other about a Marshall situation. Unknowns to Mr. Barrett, Carmine hangs up the phone after
What's happening?
hearing him get pelted with snowballs. He
Oh,
then
cool.
goes to Carmine and sees Tommy and Alana just throwing snowballs amongst themselves with Carmine
Is there no
Costello laying
bailiff?
on the ground. He gets out of his truck and then they begin to throw snowballs at him. It is clear that Alana Reviews had
Guys, it seems to
no
me like
care,
there's no
no
bailiff.
regard for Craig Barrett's well-being after he pled consistently for them to stop throwing snowballs at him. That's what this court case is about. Alana Reviews having no care or regard for another law enforcement officer's safety as a law enforcement officer herself.
Wow.
Okay, Tony. Big boy voice, Tony.
Oh, sorry. I just. Okay.
You got this straight
Your
off the
Honor?
dome, baby.
People of the court. We're here because of fucking snowball. Grown adults throwing snowballs at each other. You know, fine.
Is this opening
Arguing whatever.
statements?
But we're gonna show something here today that not only are these charges asinine
Is
and
this
petty,
opening?
but unnecessary is gonna be the word for today.
Hi, Charm.
I don't know.
Thank you for the resub.
They
Appreciate
pulled
it.
a gun on Alana for
Ruthless.
so we'll talk about that later. She's not gonna be guilty of this, Your Honor. We're gonna prove it.
Okay.
Tony, he shot two. He shot two.
Prosecution, your first witness, please.
We'll be calling up Craig Barrett.
Okay, Marshall Barrett, come up to the stand.
I met him.
Princess, once Barrett is comfortable, can you please swear him in?
Absolutely.
That was about as comfortable as I'm gonna get.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, under penalty of perjury, lest you find your dwelling thoroughly besieged by Araluan's armed forces, who shall build siege towers and trebuchets surrounding your lands, barricading against all entry and exit until you and your people have no choice but to starve or surrender?
I do.
All right, the witness is sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you. Deputy Hayes, the witness is yours.
Marshall Barrett, were you on the phone with Carmine
Yes, I'm there.
Costello? I'm forgetting this date.
Like that I just walked in and I'm like, I am
6 days ago.
I am the bailiff
Yes.
now.
During this phone call, what did you guys talk about?
Pending FOIA that Officer Costello was supposed to deliver to the marshal's office.
Was there anything that changed during this conversation?
While in discussion with him, the phone call was suddenly disconnected.
Do you understand why it was disconnected?
Not in the immediate moment, but I was already on the road, only a block away.
Guys, what is
and
it called
arrived
when you shoot
shortly
arrows?
after
Like
tracking his
they
flip to find
it's not
him
they
laying
free
on
the
ground.
arrows, they lease the arrow. No,
Was
they
there any other people in that area?
Yes,
just
there
heard this word 'cause
was,
my dad was talking about Vikings.
Alana Reviews
Oh, guys, I'm live.
and Tommy Tinker.
And what did you do after you arrived on scene?
Loose, that's the
Engaged
word.
my overhead
Thank you,
lights.
Jenkins.
I was in my police Caracara. Just stepped out of the truck and casually walked over.
And then what's Jenkins? What's
and
the
yelled
word for
out,
like
just kind of
volley?
cat-
Volley.
non-accusatorially, damn it, I needed to speak to him.
Huh.
And who else was there?
There was Carmine and Alana Reviews and Tommy Tinker. Just those three and myself.
Okay. And what were they doing?
Reportedly they had been throwing. Well, I could when I approached them initially, I could see them throwing snowballs, and they were just messing around with snowballs.
The word for
Did
volley is
you ever
volley.
throw
Thank
a
you.
snowball at them?
No.
Did you attempt to engage in any way in the snowball fight?
No.
Were you ever hit with a snowball?
I was.
How many snowballs were you hit with?
Over the course of the entire situation, I would have to guesstimate between 7 and 9, if not more.
Were you injured during this onslaught of snowballs?
I was.
Where exactly were they hitting you with the snowball?
They were hitting me all over. At one point, one of them struck my head, and I felt a bit of a pop. I fell to the ground. While getting back up, it felt like I had a minor fracture in my skull, which I verbalized.
How exactly did you verbalize that?
I said, "Oh God, I think that one cracked my skull. I'm gonna need to see a medic."
Did they stop to attempt to give you medical aid?
No.
How many times did you ask them to help you?
I believe at least twice, but the exact number of times is a little bit blurry. It might have been more, but at least twice that I remember.
Did they stop throwing snowballs at you so you can give medical aid to yourself?
No.
And what happened once you started requesting?
Guys,
them
I gotta
to
write
stop
more
throwing
of these.
snowballs?
At first, I had requested them to stop. It was more of a, haha, guys, please stop. Then it was, ow, that hurt. Please stop throwing snowballs at me. And then when I felt the pop in my skull, I said, hey, stop throwing snowballs. I'm actually hurt. I need to see a medic. And they continued, and I warned them, look, if you don't stop, I feel like I might pass out. Stop. They continued, so I drew my gun, and I said, look, I'm serious. Please do not make me shoot you. I'm about to pass out. You need to stop. They
So
continued.
You were in fear of your life at that point.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you take any actions against them?
Verbal commands. At one point, I did have my gun drawn and gave them commands to stop as a threat to defend myself. At one point, when I was knocked over, I fell back on my back, and I did pull the trigger on the gun, but the bullet just lodged straight into the snow on the ground in front of me.
And can I question him as an expert witness, Your Honor?
What topic?
Use of force.
You can ask him questions to establish him as an expert witness if the answers satisfy what you're looking for.
Okay. Based off of your profession, what would you categorize a snowball on the use of force continuum?
Open hand control would be the lowest, just above verbal commands, really.
So, at what point are you able to go above? Like, what would be the thing that you respond to that?
Typically close hand control on that. However, due to the extended injuries, a normal snowball I would consider it as open hand control. Due to my injuries incurred, and I mean there must have been like rocks or something in one of those. It kind of ups the ante a little bit towards.
Objection to that last response about the rocks. That just prove that.
Your Honor, he just testified that the snowball caused an injury that didn't actually happen with normal snowballs, indicating that there may have been items inside of the snowball that severely impacted him and caused the fracture to his skull.
Can I respond, Your Honor?
Once more.
The keyword is may have. Nothing in evidence suggests that there was anything like that. Again, speculation. May have, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Okay. The court will recognise that Barrett may be speculating on there being a rock, but the court will recognise that Barrett did experience that